At Dawson, that Winterberg did something that made him very famous in the Northland. Tartan, Hans, and Pete want to go to the east to look for gold, but they didn't need money. One day they were at the El Dorado Salon. "My dog can pull a sled with 500 pounds on it," said one man. "Well, my dog can pull 600 pounds," said another man. Di Dawson, Book musim dingin melakukan sesuatu yang membuatnya sangat terkenal di wilayah utara. Thornton, Hans, dan Pete ingin pergi ke timur untuk mencari emas, tapi mereka membutuhkan uang. Suatu hari mereka berada di El Dorado Salon. "Anjingku bisa menarik kereta luncur dengan 500 pounds di dalamnya," kata satu pria. "Well, anjingku bisa menarik 600 pounds," kata pria lain. "Really? Well, my dog can pull 700 pounds," said a third man called Matthewson. "That's nothing," said Thornton. "Book can pull 1,000 pounds. Can he move the sled when it's frozen to the ice and then pull it 100 years?" asked Matthewson. "Yes, he can," said Thornton. "Well," said Matthewson, "I've got $1,000 here, and I say he can't." He took a bag of gold and pulled it on the table. Nobody spoke. Thornton thought, "I know Bob is strong, but is he really so strong?" The man at the salon looked at him silently and waited. Thornton didn't have $1,000, and his friends didn't either. "I've got a sled outside with 1,000 pounds on it," Matthewson said. "Do you want to try?" Thornton didn't know how to say. He looked at all the men. Then he saw his old friend Jim O'Brien. "Can you lend me $1,000, Jim?" Thornton said softly. "Sure," said O'Brien, "but I don't think your dog can do it." Everyone went into the street. A lot of men stood around Matthewson's sled. The sled was frozen to the ice because it was terribly cold. "Sungguh, Will, anjingku bisa menarik 700 pounds," kata orang ketiga bernama Matthewson. "Itu bukan apa-apa," kata Thornton. "Book bisa menarik 1000 pounds. Benarkah dia bisa menggerakkan kereta luncur saat itu dingin menjadi es dan kemudian menarik 1000 yard?" tanya Matthewson. "Ya, dia bisa," kata Thornton. "Well," kata Matthewson, "aku mendapatkan $1,000 di sini, dan aku," kata dia, "tidak bisa." Dia mengambil tas dengan emas dan meletakkannya di meja. Tidak ada satupun yang berbicara. Thornton berpikir, "Aku tahu Book itu kuat, tapi benarkah dia benar-benar kuat?" Para lelaki yang di salon itu melihat ke arahnya, terdiam dan menunggu. Thornton tidak punya $1,000, dan temannya juga tidak mempunyainya. "Aku mendapatkan kereta luncur di luar dengan 1000 pounds di dalamnya," kata Matthew. Matthew berkata, "Kamu ingin mencobanya?" Thornton tidak tahu apa yang harus dia katakan. Dia melihat ke semua pria. Lalu dia melihat teman lamanya, Jim O'Brien. "Bisakah kamu meminjamkanku $1,000, Jim?" kata Thornton dengan lembut. "Tentu," kata O'Brien. "Tapi aku tidak berpikir anjingmu bisa melakukannya. Semua orang pergi ke jalan. Banyak pria itu berdiri memutari kata luncur Madison. Kata luncur itu sudah membeku menjadi es karena di situ sangat dingin. Madison was sure Buck couldn't win and said, "I'm paying another $400. What about you?" Charlton's hands and feet talked together. They had only $200 and they had them to $1,000. Buck left the excitement in the air. He knew he must do something great for Charlton. Buck was in perfect condition. He was a splendid dog. Charlton sat down on the snow next to Buck. He held Buck's head in his hands and spoke softly in his ear. Madison yakin Buck tidak bisa menang dan berkata, Aku membayar $400 lebih. Bagaimana denganmu? Charlton dan Pete berbincang bersama. Mereka hanya memiliki $200 dan mereka menambahkan $200 itu ke $1,000. Buck merasa bersemangat di udara. Dia tahu dia harus melakukan yang terbaik untuk Charlton. Buck berada di kondisi yang sempurna. Dia adalah anjing yang baik. Charlton duduk di salju sebelah Buck. Dia memegang kepala Buck dengan tangannya dan berkata lembut di telinganya, "If you love me, Buck, if you love me." Buck understood. He took Charlton's hands between his teeth and then let go. He often did this as a sign of his love. Everyone was silent. Charlton stood up and said, "Ready, Buck?" Buck pulled on the harness. "Right," cried Charlton. Buck pulled to the right and stopped suddenly. "No left," cried Charlton. Jika kamu mencintaiku, Buck, jika kamu mencintaiku. Buck mengerti. Dia mengambil tangan Charlton di antara giginya, kemudian pergi. Dia sedang melakukan itu sebagai tanda cintanya. Semua orang terdiam. Charlton berdiri dan berkata, "Siap, Buck." Buck menarik di baju kudanya. Kanan, teriak Charlton. Buck ditarik ke kanan dan berhenti tiba-tiba. "Sekarang kiri," teriak Charlton. Buck pulled on the left. The ice was breaking. "No, mas." Buck started to pull. His strong body pulled harder and harder. The sled moved a little. Suddenly it started to go forward on the snow. Buck pulled it for 100 years. He was the winner. The men shouted and threw their heads in the air. Charlton was on the snow with Buck. He took his head and shook it. He was crying with happiness. Buck had Charlton's hand between his teeth. In 5 minutes, Buck made $1,600 for Charlton and his friends. With this money, they could travel to the east to look for a lost gold mine. No one knew where it was. It was a mystery. The 3 men with Bucks and 6 other dogs started to go east. They traveled up the Stewart River and into the Mackenzie Mountains. Charlton was not afraid of the wild. He had with food during the day. Buck was very happy. He loved hunting, fishing, and traveling. They camped in different places and looked for gold. In the summer, they built small boats and crossed mountain lakes and went down rivers. The months passed, and they continued to travel in the unknown country. In the winter, they found an old cabin, but they did not find the gold mine. Then in the spring, they found a stream with gold in it. It looked like yellow butter. Every day the men worked hard and found lots of gold. They put it in many big bags. Each bag had 50 pounds of gold. Book ditarik ke kiri. The S is first breaking. Es itu hancur. Sekarang Mas Book mulai menarik dengan tubuhnya yang kuat. Dia menarik lebih kuat dan lebih kuat. Kereta hancur itu pun bergerak sedikit. Tiba-tiba itu mulai pergi mengarah ke salju. Book menarik itu untuk satu siat. Dia adalah pemenang. Para laki-laki itu berteriak dan melempar topi mereka ke udara. Tartan sedang di salju dengan Book. Dia mengambil kepalanya dan menggoyangkannya. Dia menangis dengan bahagia. Book memiliki tangan Tartan di antara giginya. Dalam 15 menit, Book membuat $1.600 untuk Tartan dan temannya. Dengan uang itu, mereka dapat bepergian ke timur untuk mencari tambang emas yang hilang. Tidak ada satupun yang mengetahui di mana itu. Itu merupakan misteri. Ketiga orang itu dengan Book dan 6 anjing lainnya mulai pergi ke timur. Mereka bepergian ke sungai Stewart dan ke Gunung Mackenzie. Tartan tidak takut dengan keliaran. Dia berburu makanannya saat siang. Book sangat bahagia. Dia menyukai berburu, memancing, dan bepergian. Mereka berkemah di tempat yang berbeda dan mencari emas. Di musim panas, mereka membangun perahu kecil dan menyeberangi gunung sungai dan pergi ke bawah sungai. The months pass. Sebulan berlalu dan mereka melanjutkan perjalanan ke negara yang tidak diketahui. Di musim dingin mereka menemukan kabin tua, tapi mereka tidak dapat menemukan tambang emas. Lalu di musim semi, mereka menemukan aliran dengan emas di dalamnya. Itu terlihat seperti mentega kuning. Setiap hari pria itu bekerja keras dan menemukan banyak emas. Mereka meletakkannya di banyak tas besar. Setiap tas memiliki 50 pounds emas. The dogs did nothing except watch the men and eat. Buck spent many hours sitting by the fire and dreaming. Sometimes during the day he had a call from the forest. He listened and ran off into the forest. He loved running under the tall trees and looking at the birds. One night he woke up suddenly. He heard the call again. He came from the forest and it was a long howl. He ran into the forest and followed the sound. He came to an open space in the trees and saw a wolf. He was sitting and his nose was up in the air. He was looking at the sky. Book walked towards him slowly and silently. The wolf stopped howling and ran away. Book followed him. After some time, the wolf stopped and growled at Puck. He was afraid because Puck was much bigger, but Puck did not want to fight. He wanted to make friends with the wolf. The wolf understood and they touched nose. They became friends and played together. They ran for horse through the forest and under the open sky. All memories come back to Puck. He was very happy. They stopped by a stream to drink and Puck remembered John Thornton. The wolf wanted Puck to follow him, but Puck turned and slowly went back. The wolf followed him for a while. Then he sat down and howled. It was a sad howl. Thornton was eating dinner when Puck returned. He jumped all over Thornton and licked his face. For 2 days and nights, Puck never left camp. He followed Thornton everywhere, but soon Puck heard the call again. Anjing itu tidak melakukan apapun kecuali menonton pria itu dan makan. Puck menghabiskan banyak jam berdiri di dekat api dan bermimpi. Terkadang selama siang hari dia mendengar panggilan dari hutan. Dia mendengarkan dan lari ke hutan. Dia sangat suka berlari di bawah pepohonan tinggi dan lihat ke burung. Suatu malam dia tiba-tiba terbangun. Dia mendengar panggilan lagi. Itu datang dari hutan dan itu adalah melolong yang panjang. Dia lari ke hutan dan mengikuti suara itu. Dia sampai ke tempat terbuka di pepohonan dan melihat sebuah serigala. Dia duduk dan hidungnya terangkat ke udara. Dia sedang melihat ke arah langit. Puck berjalan menujunya perlahan dan terdiam. Serigala itu berhenti melolong dan melarikan diri. Puck mengikutinya. Setelah beberapa waktu, serigala itu pun berhenti dan menggeram ke arah Puck. Dia takut karena Puck sangat besar, tapi Puck tidak ingin bertarung. Dia ingin berteman dengan serigala. Serigala itu pun mengerti dan mereka menyentuh hidung satu sama lain. Mereka menjadi teman dan bermain bersama. Mereka berlari untuk beberapa jam melalui hutan dan di bawah langit terbuka. Memori lama kembali ke Puck. Dia sangat bahagia. Mereka berhenti oleh aliran untuk minum dan Puck teringat oleh John Thornton. Serigala itu menginginkan Puck untuk mengikutnya, tapi Puck berbalik dan perlahan kembali. Serigala itu mengikutinya untuk beberapa saat, kemudian dia duduk dan melolong. Melongan itu adalah melongan kesedihan. Thornton sedang memakan makan malam saat Puck kembali. Dia melompat di sekeliling Thornton dan melihat wajahnya. Untuk 2 hari dan malam, Puck tidak pernah meninggalkan kemah. Dia mengikuti Thornton kemanapun. Tapi segera Puck mendengar panggilan itu lagi. He thought about his wild brother and the forest. Puck began to sleep out at night. He stayed away from camp for 3 or 4 days. Once he stayed away for a week, he looked for his wild brother, but could not find him. He fished in the stream and killed animals for food. Every part of his body was alive and healthy. He was stronger and faster than other days. There was so much energy in Puck. One day Puck was going to the forest and Thornton said, "What a fantastic dog." Hans and Pete agreed. Dia berpikir bahwa kakak liarnya Dia berpikir tentang kakak liarnya dan hutan. Bug mulai tertidur saat malam. Dia menjauh dari kemah untuk 3 atau 4 hari. Sekali dia menjauh untuk seminggu. Dia mencari kakak liarnya tapi tidak dapat menemukannya. Dia memancing di aliran dan membunuh hewan untuk makan. Setiap bagian dari tubuhnya sangat hidup dan sehat. Dia menjadi makin kuat dan makin cepat daripada anjing lainnya. Terdapat banyak energi di dalam tubuh. Suatu hari Bug sedang pergi ke hutan dan Turtle berkata, "Anjing yang sangat luar biasa." Hans dan Pete setuju.